Hi, and welcome to another edition of the Reid Duffy Chronicles. I'm Reid Duffy, and tonight we start out getting together with Sandy Allen, still dealing with the fame, opportunities, trials, and tribulations that comes with being the person who stands out most in a crowd.
Good afternoon. I'd like to welcome all you short folks here today.
Of course, to Sandy Allen, literally everybody she meets can be defined as a short folk, and her capacity as the world's tallest woman is documented by the Guinness Book of World Records, and at 7 foot 7¼ tall, currently tied with a gentleman from Pakistan as the world's tallest person. Sandy's story, a familiar one by now, born in Chicago at a normal 7 pounds 21 inches long, but while growing up in Shelbyville, a tumor on her pituitary gland caused unrestrained production of growth hormones, quickly propelling her growth to a startling degree. By 5th grade, 6'3", and feeling very alone.
And that made life pretty difficult when I went to school because the boys all made fun of me and the girls didn't want to be my friend because I was different.
And a lifetime of being different is the driving force behind a video Sandy has made with her agents John Kleiman and Kelly Hocker titled, "It's Okay to Be Different," geared to children who are at an age where being different can be a source of great turmoil and pain.
You shouldn't make fun of other people that are different because they have feelings too. If I can teach kids that if you treat your friends like you'd like to be treated, we'd all get along a lot better. I don't give up easily. I'm very proud of my size. I'm different. I'm 7 feet 7¼ tall, and I'm proud of every inch of it.
And a sentiment always encouraged by her grandmother, who raised her in Shelbyville, to where Sandy actively sought the designation of world's tallest lady in the early 70s, upon noticing she was taller than the woman so deemed by the Guinness folks. Sandy sent in the proper documentation and found herself duly proclaimed world's tallest in their 1976 edition.
It sounds like a corny line, but getting in the Guinness Book really did change my life. It gave me the chance to travel all over the world and do all kinds of interesting things. I've really enjoyed.
Indeed, it took her all over the world, just about every talk show in between, with a mock wedding for a Japanese variety show, and to Italy for a brief but memorable role as a combative giantess in a Federico Fellini film.
And my boss had me scared to death telling me all these stories about how the Italian men like to pinch women's rear ends. So when I landed at the airport, I walked around with my purse behind me until I realized all those Italian guys were so short they couldn't reach my rear end. I didn't have to worry about it.
Sandy also logged 8 years at the Guinness Museum in Ontario, giving a series of daily presentations on the difficult art of being very tall in a world designed for in-betweeners, while trying to keep from being portrayed as a professional curiosity.
For the most part, it was fun. Although after a while, it sort of got to be a glorified freak show.
But the experience did give her the confidence and poise to meet, deal, and be comfortable before the public and the media, her childhood shyness evaporating.
I don't mind answering questions. I've said this before. I've been asked everything from how's your sex life to how do you sit on the toilet.
How much do you weigh?
How much do I weigh? I weigh about 450 pounds, give or take an ounce or two. That's why at Christmas time, Santa will let me sit on his lap. He has to sit on mine.
Indeed, her extreme height has made romantic relationships a fleeting proposition through the years, but armed with a well-honed wit, she's comfortable with that.
I don't want to get married. I have enough trouble taking care of myself. And besides that, I wear a size 16 on my ring finger, and I haven't found any sucker rich enough to put a diamond that big on my hand yet.
As perhaps you've noticed, Sandy Allen could have a future as the world's tallest stand-up comedian. Her humor does shine, and she's really needed it the last few years. She's 40 now and out of work, laid off as a secretary in a city government budget cutback late last year. She was laid low throughout the winter with a brutal sinus infection. Chronic back troubles cause her to stoop, and a sore left knee makes walking difficult over long distances. Relying on a large cane, fearing from past experience, a fall would pose a major production problem for paramedics. She uses a wheelchair in the interest of speed, efficiency, and practicality in getting about the Eastside Indianapolis apartment she shares with her younger brother Mike, and out and about, for upon reaching her destination, she knows she'll have a chair that can reliably accommodate her. She's able to get about in a 10-year-old van with the seats specially set back to give her the leg and headroom she needs. So with her new tape and talk show appearances on the likes of Radio Oz, the children's radio station, Sandy is aggressively marketing her fame as an educational and inspirational speaker to that group she relates to best, kids.
I love working with the kids. A lot of times I get much more intelligent questions out of them than I do some of the adults I meet.
And for many in Indiana, it's curiosity about her potential in basketball, where men are paid millions for being close to Sandy's height, but where Sandy attracted too much attention from the referees in her short-lived career in 7th and 8th grade.
And every time I lifted my little finger, the referee was blowing the whistle on me, so I felt like taking that whistle and...
Well!
And I stood flat-footed and touched the rim of the basketball goal.
And she talks of the specially designed bed and living room chairs she has to make her comfy, how she can't use the shower because it's too low, and make sure the bathtub is wide enough, harking back to when she got stuck in that tub in a London hotel, how she does not have warm thoughts about the inventor of the ceiling fan, and how traveling coach in an airplane leaves a lot to be desired.
Sometimes it might be easier, I think, if they put me down in cargo where they put all the suitcases.
Sandy has put a lot of health problems behind her, including 2 operations to remove that pituitary gland tumor, a near-fatal blood infection a few years back that required amputation of a big toe, and the sinus infection that followed extensive dental surgery. All the while taking note that the tallest man ever, 8'11" Robert Wadlow of Illinois, died of an infected blister at age 22, and the tallest woman ever, 8'3" San Chung Ling of China, died at age 16. At age 40, Sandy perseveres in dealing with the physical and sometimes mental stress of being the world's tallest, and now using her special talents to help those deal with the stress of just being a kid.
If I could make life a little better for some of the kids that are growing up by being a good influence, that makes it all worthwhile. I've always felt there must have been some reason why I was made this tall.
If you're interested in Sandy Allen's inspirational tape, you can call 1-88-BIG-SANDY. That's 888-BIG-SANDY. Next up, some deep thoughts about Busch Stadium, and this is Twilight Season.